And we can bring you breaking news as the Rafah crossing between Egypt and the Gaza Strip has just opened. As you can see, the first trucks loaded with food, water and medicines desperately needed by civilians inside Gaza are able to start crossing. It's unclear how long that crossing will remain open. Israel had agreed to let the first 20 trucks through, but all sides have imposed conditions on those deliveries. Israel sealed its borders with Gaza, so that means the Rafah crossing between Egypt and Gaza is the only way right now to let in vital aid supplies. One other big question is whether foreign passport holders and dual nationals, at least 600 of whom are American, according to the US State Department, may be allowed out through that crossing. Tamara Arafai from UNRWA, from the United Nations organization, gave us this update from her team on the ground in Gaza.
Very tragic. 17 of my UNRWA colleagues were killed in the last 2 weeks. I would like to remind that UNRWA has 13,000 staff in Gaza. Most of them, almost all of them, minus a few, are themselves Gazans from Gaza. They, for most, are sheltering in UNRWA schools and UNRWA shelters. And where they are doing all they can. So, for instance, we have mobile medical teams doing the rounds in about 90 shelters in the middle and south regions of Gaza. Also, bread has continued to arrive to different shelters, thanks to cooperation with the World Food Programme. But as Gaza is running out of clean water, people have been drinking water that is not fit for human consumption. And this also causes a huge risk for our ability and the WFP's ability and the bakery's ability to continue making bread if there's no clean water. Our call has been very clear. Clean water has to go into Gaza. Fuel must go into Gaza to be able to nourish the water desalination plants of UNRWA and UNICEF so that we and civilians have access to clean drinking water. Basic medical supplies, we're talking about paracetamol, antibiotics and insulin, have to go in. This is why when we speak about the convoy getting ready to go into Gaza, our call is that this should not be a one-off, as welcome as it is. It should be a continuous, unimpeded and safe access of aid convoys and personnel into the entire strip, north, middle and south, not just the south.
And that was Tamara Al-Rafai from the United Nations organization UNRWA, the key aid agency on the ground inside the Gaza Strip, talking about the need for aid. As we've been saying already in the last hour, the border crossing between Egypt and the Gaza Strip has opened to allow the first trucks of much needed aid allowed in, the practicalities of which we will hopefully be finding out as we go along. There's been a tweet in the last moments from the UK Foreign Secretary James Cleverly, who's been moving around the region in recent days. He says on the subject of the trucks going into the Gaza Strip, this aid is a lifeline, he says, for those who are suffering, but it cannot be a one-off. The UK continues to push for humanitarian access to Gaza. And we will be bringing you up to date, of course, this morning with those aid trucks going in.